it's also important, I think, to talk about the non-clinical staff. So I think it's been really interesting watching the development. To start with, I think it was really hard when we brought two organisations together, and there were a lot of clashes about how you do stuff, and creating a sense of this is a new organisation, and we need to find a way of doing it that is owned by the Nelson and isn't the Camhill Laneway or the Church Laneway. That was quite an interesting and sometimes difficult journey, but we put a lot of time and effort into that, and it really does feel like it's now the Nelson. No one thinks of themselves as coming from the former practice. We had a bit of staff turnover in the first 12 to 18 months. For some people, the new organisation wasn't right, or they didn't like the change. We've now got a really stable non-clinical workforce, and actually they feel incredibly supported, and they seem to enjoy working there. We had our Christmas do this last Christmas, and really positive feedback from staff, which was really encouraging because we worked really hard on it. I think the successful things we've done, one is creating a really clear sense of team. So you've got what we call a patient care navigators, who many practices call receptionists. We tried to give them a new name to reflect what we wanted them to do, which was not just book people in, but actually engage with the patient and think about what they needed and tried to find the best way of dealing with them. So we've got a team of patient care navigators. We have a team leader for them and a deputy team leader. We've put time and energy into developing their leadership skills. So one of them's been on a leadership and management course. They're having regular appraisal meetings just to try and develop them to help them lead the team, and that seems to have been really successful. We've done the same thing with our patient care coordinators, with our admin staff, with our secretarial group, even with our scanners. So we have a team leader for all of those. We have team leader meetings, and we try and support and develop those leaders to lead their team themselves. And if they need training in that, then we've been providing that, because we just think it's really important. It seems to be bearing dividends because people seem happy, and we're managing to retain staff, and we've got really good morale in the organisation, which 2 years ago would not have been the case. So we've had to really invest in that. I mean, one of the other critical things we've done is we've actively invested in staff morale. So we think that's really important, and so once a month we have a practice lunch where we block everyone out for an hour, we bring food in, and there's no real agenda. It's just showing people that we value them, giving them time to talk to each other, particularly talking between teams so that people get to know each other, because in a big organisation you have to do that. And I think if you're working across multiple sites, it would be really important that you actively sought opportunities to bring people together. This stuff doesn't just happen by default in a big organisation, you have to do it intentionally. We have Friday evening socials as well, where we put money behind the bar at the pub across the road and try and get as many people from the organisation as possible to be there. We've got away days that we run at least once a year as well. So we try really hard to find opportunities to make our staff feel valued, and also to give them opportunities to build relationships with each other, and that's been really successful.